Hello, baseball fans. Well, we just witnessed a day of American League Division Series action. It was the scene-shifting Game 3s, Game 3 in Detroit, and Game 3 in the Bronx. So, here's what took place during those games. This was a pain to get out there. A big pain to get out there. Because the game was supposed to start at about it was supposed to start around 4 Eastern, which is 1 p.m. here. But there was a big rain delay. It actually started raining in Detroit before the game started. And it was delayed for hours. And I get that when it's postseason, you kind of have to get games in. But I have seen postseason games postponed before by a day. But they waited out 3 hours. They waited out. And they finally do the first pitch. And at the end, when all was said and done, Seattle got the win. They took the series lead for the first time, and they have a good chance, they have a prime chance. They are 1 win away from playing for the pennant, 1 win away from advancing to ALCS for the first time since that famous 2001 season where they won 116 games. So Detroit struck first the series, but Seattle they won the next two, and they could advance. They could advance in Game 4, and we'll see what happens with that. Next up was the pivotal Game 3 between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. This was the first potential elimination game of this year's division series. The Yankees backs were to the wall, and we were down 6-1 early. It looked bad for the team. So, how did it end up? We're still standing. Yeah. We're still standing. Yeah. Thanks to that man in that photo, we're still alive. It was 6-1. Then it was 6-3. Then there were 2 men on in the 4th. And that man in the photo right there, Aaron James Judge, knocked it out of the park. Off the foul pole, tie game. Jazz Chisholm later homered, gave us the lead. Our first lead the entire series. And that was that. We had a couple more. The bullpen was letter perfect. And the Yankees still have life. 9-6, the final score. We won it in front of our home crowd, and we get to play another day. This is interesting. And I kind of figured we'd win this because we showed a bit of life in Game 2, even though the game was pretty much over. And we showed some life in this one. Now, if this is any indication, we should really start on time in Game 4 and never go back. We should. And, of course, in Game 4, we'll have the kids starting. Cam Schlitter, the same Cam Schlitter who turned the Red Sox into nothing but a bunch of cheap wool. But, yeah, what a game that was. So yeah, the Yankees are still alive, which means all 4 series will be in play. Well, it's officially Wednesday, so later today. And that is my recap of Tuesday's action. And with today being Wednesday officially, we have a lot to look forward to. First up, Game 4 at 3:08 p.m. Eastern, 12:08 p.m. Pacific. Game 4, Mariners, Tigers, Seattle up 2-1. Seattle will look to finish that off and reach the ALCS for the first time in 24 years. Move 1 step closer to their first ever pennant. Next up, 2 hours after that starts, at 5:08 p.m. Eastern, 2:08 p.m. Pacific, it's Game 3, the National League between the Brewers and the Cubs. Scene shifts to Wrigley Field, but the Brewers are up 2-0. The Cubs look to try to stay alive. Brewers look to reach the NLCS for only the 3rd time since they switched to the National League, and the first time since 2018. And then 2 hours after that game starts, it's Game 4 in the Bronx Blue Jays, Yankees. Yankees need to look to keep hope alive once again, while the Blue Jays look to play for the pennant. Look to move on to play for the pennant. And that's at 7:08 p.m. Eastern, 4:08 p.m. Pacific. And then the last game at 9:08 p.m. Eastern, 6:08 p.m. Pacific. It's Game 3, Phillies-Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers are 2-0 after winning both games in Philly. And the Dodgers will look to return to the NLCS for the second straight year, while the Phillies look to stay alive on the road. So yeah, 4 potential elimination games, and we'll see what happens later on. But that is my recap of Tuesday's action. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe to get more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And I'll be back with a recap of all of the action. Hopefully, I bring good news that we're heading back to Canada for Game 5. So stay tuned for that.